Coming up on KOTA Territory News at 5:30, local teens get an opportunity to explore future careers at Scrubs Camp. Plus, we'll have a look ahead at the 2026 gubernatorial election candidates and their odds of winning. And we have new footage of last week's armed robbery at a Rapid City Taco John's. Your news starts now.
From Skyline Drive, this is KOTA Territory News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Jack KOTA. We have breaking news on the Taco John's robbery here in Rapid City, where police say employees had a gun pulled on them and one of the workers was even attacked. Take a look at your screen. Here's brand new video showing the robbery in action. As you can see in this footage just released by the Rapid City Police Department, the robber walks up to the counter while pointing a gun at employees. The suspect then appears to be giving a worker instructions while waving the weapon around. This happened at the Taco John's on West Main Street last Thursday. Police say the gunman demanded money and assaulted a worker before running off to the northwest. RCPD says it needs your help to identify the suspect. Investigators are asking anyone with information on the crime to give them a call or submit an anonymous tip. You can find contact information on our website at kotatv.com. A recent poll had Governor Larry Roden and Representative Dusty Johnson essentially neck and neck in the 2026 Republican gubernatorial primary. KOTA Territory's Blake Trolley is now taking us in depth on that poll.
A recent poll carried out by South Dakota Newswatch and the University of South Dakota shows Congressman Dusty Johnson and Governor Larry Roden effectively tied for the lead, as the two are 1% away from each other with a no more than 4.5 percentage margin of error. And while Johnson and Roden's percentages are the exact same from a poll done in the spring, support for two other candidates has risen.
Toby Doden, he has definitely seen an increase in supporters for his race, as well as Hansen. He has gained as well, so definitely a shift there.
Yeah, so you're talking there about Aberdeen businessman Toby Doden and South Dakota House Speaker John Hansen. Doden had 15% support and Hansen had 10%. Kelo explained that it's unclear where the two got their rise in support from. One number remaining statistically the same between the poll done in the spring and fall is undecided voters at 21% in the spring and 20% last month.
So we do have a, 1 in 5, voters, GOP voters who haven't made a decision. Now, this far out from the race, that's from the primary in June, that's not surprising.
While Roden has been included in the polls, he has yet to declare whether he's running. He was asked on Monday about his political ambitions.
Are you a candidate for election next year?
Potential candidate for election. We'll be making, that's a fair question. We're getting closer. Obviously, we're taking steps, and every time I go out, I hear more and more people asking me to run, asking me to consider running, and we're very close to making an announcement.
As for the governor's thoughts on the latest poll,
polls are a snapshot in time, and I'd be lying if I said it wasn't very encouraging for me, especially where I hadn't made any announcements.
The poll last month surveyed 502 registered Republicans. In Rapid City, Blake Trolley, KOTA Territory News.
A new Mason-Dixon poll shows South Dakota's leading political figures generally maintain strong approval ratings among registered voters, but not all leaders saw increases. Former Governor and current Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem is seeing a 4 percentage point decline in approval, falling to 47%. The poll shows a strong partisan divide, with 71% of Republicans approving, while only 2% of Democrats do. Among independents, 41% approve and 57% disapprove, indicating a notable gap between them and Republicans. Senate Majority Leader John Thune's ratings haven't changed since April, with a 54% approval rating. Polling Center founder Brad Coker said while Thune's approval rating isn't low, South Dakota is a deeply red state where you would expect the number to be higher. Chief Meteorologist David Stradling joins us from the First Alert Weather Center. So, David, how long is the wind going to stick around, especially with the colder air you've been talking about lately?
Yeah, the cold air is going to be lining up for the weekend, and that's actually when it's going to be the windiest. We still have some breezy conditions out right now, and those are going to stick around for tomorrow, too. So as we look at our current winds The wind speeds are out of the southeast, 10, 15 miles per hour for much Dakota territory, so it's not terrible, but we're going to be noticing those winds picking back up tomorrow. A lot of 40s on the map. Currently, we do have 50s for Gillette, Wright, Newcastle, Edgemont, Hot Springs, and the rest of southwest South Dakota. Those temperatures are going to continue to fall overnight tonight, but not far. It's actually going to be very mild, 50 for a low temperature in downtown Rapid City, thanks to those winds, mainly westerly as they shift from the south to the northwest. We'll be looking at our average low of 30, about 20 degrees warmer than that overnight tonight. For tomorrow, we'll be warming up into the 60s. A few showers are possible. It will be breezy, but as I've mentioned before, we're staying mild, but just for how long? A cold front will bring changes to Dakota territory. It'll also bring rain and snow chances and very windy conditions. I'll have more on that coming up later on in my First Alert forecast.
Thank you, David. Testimony in the trial of Walter Musso Jr. began today. He's accused of the murder of Sheldon Glenn. The 30-year-old Musso is accused of murdering Glenn by drowning him in Memorial Park Pond on July 4th of 2022. Musso is charged with alternate counts of first and second degree murder and unauthorized ingestion of a controlled substance. He's pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity to all charges. Musso was previously determined not competent to stand trial in 2023. However, after 9 months in a mental health facility, a clinical psychologist determined he is competent. Attorneys made opening statements, with the defense stating that Musso was paranoid, delusional, and fragile, and gave examples of delusion that included Musso thinking he is Jesus Christ. Prosecutors emphasized that Musso was drunk and high on methamphetamine at the time of the crime and claim he felt disrespected. If found guilty of murder, Musso faces life in prison. Falling victim to a scam can be devastating, which is why AARP South Dakota and Attorney General Marty Jackley are teaming up. AARP South Dakota has been hitting the road in the last month, making stops in Sioux Falls, Aberdeen, and now Rapid City. The nonprofit organization dedicated to helping people 50 and older gave a presentation today at the Hilton Garden Inn on fraud awareness and prevention. People in attendance were informed of the trends and fraudulent scams that AARP and the Attorney General's office has been noticing lately. The trending crimes include cryptocurrency ATM and grandparent scams, where fraudsters pretend to be a grandchild or family member in distress and request money due to an emergency or accident. A volunteer for AARP South Dakota says he and his wife received a suspicious call the other day.
He said that our Walmart account was overdrawn, and I'm not sure what a Walmart account is, but we don't have one.
The Attorney General's office encourages people to report any suspicious fraudulent activity at 1-800-300-1986 or by contacting local law enforcement. If your teen is struggling to pick a career path, Scrub Camp at Western Dakota Technical College can help them find their way. Dakota Territory's Kennedy Lira shows us how the school assists students in discovering what they're passionate about.
Scrubs Camp is a free campus tour for high school students wanting to go into the medical field but don't know what career path to choose. Students that go to WDTC help out by demonstrating to younger kids all the different fields they can choose to go into.
I think their day-to-day is going to be really exciting to help guide them into their career paths. They get to work with our students to see what that might look like for them, and then the high-demand jobs that we offer them.
This camp also helps these students learn more with hands-on training instead of taking notes inside of a lecture hall. The college guides these teenagers to learn all about the medical fields that may not have crossed their minds before.
I think that this would be great for someone who's looking to go into healthcare, but like if you don't know what part of healthcare you want to go into yet, I think this is really great. They have a bunch of different healthcare options.
WDTC also helps the students get jobs in the medical field before graduating from the campus.
So all of our healthcares and most of our trade programs offer either clinicals or internships while they're here on campus with us. So it's a really great opportunity for them to work in the field while they're still training.
Some of the training they offer covers radiology, dental assisting, paramedics, and medical lab technicians. To schedule a campus tour, go to our website at KOTATV.com. In Rapid City, Kennedy Lira, KOTA Territory News.
It sounds like a cold front is on the way. We'll have the details in your accurate First Alert forecast coming up later. But first, some of the last living World War II veterans are headed to Washington, D.C. to be honored for their service. That story's next. Less than 0.5% of the 16.4 million Americans who served during World War II are still alive today. That's according to statistics from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Over 40 of those veterans will be honored in Washington, D.C. at the 28th Annual Veterans Conference and American Valor Honors Gala. Among those being honored is Paul Priest, who will celebrate his 100th birthday this December. Today, Priest, who settled in Box Elder, enjoys recounting stories and sharing keepsakes from his short but impactful time in the Army. Priest was just 18 years old when he was drafted into the United States Army right after graduating high school. After basic training, he was assigned as an infantryman in the 9th Armored Division. His service began on a memorable day, December 25th, 1944, his 19th birthday, when he landed in France. He spent most of his time in Germany and was honorably discharged on February 2nd, 1946, and Priest cherishes these memories.
I enjoy them. I look back at them all the time. Every once in a while, I open that album up and that book up in that case, and that case is loaded with my pictures.
For more information on Priest's trip to D.C. tomorrow, you can go to our website. Chief Meteorologist David Stradling is tracking a cold front that will impact the weekend. The details are in your accurate First Alert forecast next.
Now, the First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist David Stradling.
While the rest of the week looks mostly calm other than a breezy day for tomorrow, we are going to be tracking a couple of disturbances that'll be bringing some moisture to Dakota territory and some big changes. First one here right off the coast of Washington and Oregon. We'll be moving in throughout the day tomorrow, bringing in some light showers, but this one out here into the Pacific will be quickly moving eastward, and that's going to bring the big changes by the time we get to the weekend. Timing things out on hour-by-hour forecast, it is going to be a mostly cloudy night. We could have some clearing during the middle of the day, but that wave we're talking about right off the coast is going to bring some rain and snow showers to Dakota territory. Some of those snow showers are just mainly in the Black Hills and the Bighorns. Not expecting any impact whatsoever. Probably not even much in terms of accumulations. A dusting at best. Now, once that moves out, things are pretty sunny for us starting off the day on Friday. But as we get towards the afternoon Friday, we will notice clouds increasing. And that front that I told you is way off in the Pacific right now. We'll be bringing in some showers Friday evening. Some snow showers for parts of the Black Hills. While there may be a light dusting, our main focus for snow is going to be into Saturday for the northern Black Hills region. We're going to be noticing northwesterly flow, which is perfect and prime for upslope conditions towards the northern Black Hills. Could bring some of that accumulating snow. Still too early to tell more specific about the details and how much you may see. There could be some accumulations, but I'm not expecting anything significant. So there's no real big worry about any widespread impacts, but there may be some minor impacts to area roadways, sidewalks, parking lots, and such. So we'll keep an eye out on that for you as we do get closer. With that snow shower activity moving in on Saturday along with that front, it's going to get very windy. We are noticing some breezy conditions throughout the day on Thursday night as well. For Friday, we are going to have a lighter wind moving through, but going into Saturday, we will notice some of those stronger winds gusting up to 50 miles per hour, potentially higher in KOTA territory. So it is going to be quite the windy start to the weekend, and it's going to be a cold one too. This is Saturday, high of only 42 in Rapid City, 30s and 40s all across KOTA territory. With that wind, it's going to feel bitter. Going throughout the day on Sunday, it will be slightly nicer, especially in the northeast Wyoming where we have 40s and 50s, but 30s and 40s remain across western South Dakota, so it will stay cool for us next on Sunday. But next week, we are going to be noticing a warming trend. Our Futurecast jet stream, if it decides to load here, we may be having a little difficulty with our graphics. It is supposed to show you that we are going to be warming back up next week with above normal temperatures. As a ridge returns to Dakota territory, we'll likely have high temperatures in the 50s and 60s, so we are going to be quickly moving away from that cold weekend into warmer temperatures next week. Overnight tonight, low temperatures fall into the 40s for many, some near 50 like Rapid City, so quite mild. Tomorrow, we are going to be a bit breezy. A few showers in the afternoon, highs ranging from the 50s to the 60s. The next 4 days, we're talking KOTA territory, going to be pretty nice Thursday and Friday, but it is quite windy on Saturday. The northern Black Hills like Sundance, Spearfish, Deadwood could be dealing with some snow showers as we make our way throughout the day on Saturday, but before that, we are still pretty mild in the 50s and 60s. Same can be said on the South Dakota Plains. A bit windy tomorrow towards Buffalo and the Faith area, even Phillip. But the strongest winds are going to be saved for Saturday. As we mentioned, it's going to be colder going into the weekend after a couple of days remaining above average. Next week, 50s and 60s will continue yet again.
And now, KOTA Territory Sports, sponsored by your local Ford stores.
Good evening, everybody. The Pine Ridge volleyball team picked up a win in the Region 8A playoffs last night, knocking off Little Wound 3-0. The Thorpes advanced to face top-seeded winner in tomorrow night's SODAC 16 qualifier. Dakota Tech knocked off St. Francis last night and will face Todd County tomorrow. The KOTA volleyball team knocked off Wall 3-2 in the Region 7B playoffs. The 26-7 Cougars advanced to Thursday's SODAC 16 qualifier against 18-10 Jones County. KOTA is led by a pair of talented seniors in Shaylee Porch and Madison Nemechek. Porch will head to Chadron State next year where she will compete in rodeo. Nemechek doesn't just excel in volleyball, she is also a standout track and field athlete. And for their efforts, this talented duo is our Gustafson Builders Athletes of the Week.
I think it's special because everybody just works super hard at practice, and we have to really play together as a team this year, being that we did lose some super crucial athletes last year. So just seeing the way that everybody comes to practice every day with 110%, just giving it our all to try to play the best we can as a team.
The whole sport, honestly, I just love being on the court, and the team aspect of it is really fun because you get to win together and watch your teammates succeed, and it's all just really fun to see.
Now elsewhere in the Region 7B playoffs last night, top-seeded Bennett County picked up a big 3-0 victory over New Underwood. The 34-5 Warriors will face Edgemont for a trip to the SODAC 16 tomorrow night. The Moguls got past White River in 3 straight last night and enter the match with a 14-6 record. Now the Rush returns to home ice this evening as it plays the first of 3 games against the Tahoe Night Monsters. After winning its first game in Allen last week, Rapid City dropped 2 to the Americans. The Rush enters tonight's matchup with a 3-4 record, and I'll have highlights for you back here tonight at 9 and 10 o'clock. The top-seeded Wall football team kept things rolling last week, picking up an impressive 41-0 playoff win against Castlewood. It's now on to the semifinals for the undefeated Eagles. They will host their friends from Phillip for a trip to the Dome Friday night. Now the Scotties are playing well as they advance with a 14-6 victory over Ipswich and enter the matchup with an 8-1 record. These teams played in the season opener way back on August 22nd, with Wall winning 54-6. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock Friday night in Wall. Back to a Friday night for high school football games this week, and we'll have all your scores and highlights at 9 and 10 o'clock on a semifinal edition of the Friday Night Hike. Going to be fun tonight over at the Monument Ice Arena. The Rush taking on Tahoe, and Rush looking back in the win column after dropping 2 in a row down in Allen last week, and I'll have the highlights for you coming up tonight. That's going to do it for sports. We'll be right back.
Bagel in the Street is back this year. You can join us on Friday, November 14th from 6:30 to 9 a.m. And this year, we're moving to the parking lot of Trinity Lutheran Church next to Hardee's in downtown Rapid City. Here's the map. Stay in the right lane on St. Joseph Street and turn right onto 4th Street into the parking lot of Trinity Lutheran Church. For your donation, you get a huge white chocolate chip bagel, baked fresh from Black Hills Bagels, and a freshly brewed gourmet coffee from Dark Canyon Coffee or a Pepsi product. All proceeds will help feed those who are struggling in our community, and this year the need is great. So please join us for the KOTA Territory Care and Share Food Drive, Bagel in the Street, on November 14th. All right, looks like we're going to finally need to pull the winter coats out.
Yeah, this weekend it's going to be a bit chilly for us, Jack, but until we get there, it's going to be nice. If you're a morning dog walker, jogger, anything like that, it's going to be fantastic to begin the day for you tomorrow. In the 50s for Rapid City, we'll climb up into the 60s by the afternoon. It will be breezy with a few afternoon showers. 59 Friday. A front will bring in a few showers late, especially towards Wyoming and Montana. Saturday, very windy, so we want to first alert you for the threat of that wind. Gusts 50 miles per hour or higher are possible. Friday night into Saturday, we're looking at the possibility of accumulating snow for the northern Black Hills. And then we're staying in the 40s both Saturday and Sunday until next week when we warm back up, climbing above average with highs back in the 50s and 60s.
We can deal with 2 days of cold.
Yeah, 2 days of cold, not bad. Unfortunately, our nice streak of warm weekends comes to an end, but we have warm air before it and after it.
Can't complain too much.
No.
All right, that'll do it for us. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you tonight at 10.
Thanks for watching KOTA Territory News, your local news and weather authority.